Welcome to Curiousaholic. My name's Evan, and I'm here with my favorite piano player, Haiko.
Hello, beautiful people.
So, before we get into today's episode, here's a quick rundown of how the podcast works. On our typical episodes, one of us chooses a topic they're curious about and reveals it live to the other person to spark a deep discussion and further our knowledge of the world around us.
On a typical episode.
Yeah. But today, we're going to be going back to and recapping last year and basically going over why we haven't been here in a while and, our goals for this year. Mm-hmm. And we're happy that we're back. So that's the important thing.
Hell yeah. We're back. We're back in action.
People.
Y2C in the house.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Yeah, 2022 was an interesting year to say the least.
A lot happened.
So yeah, we kind of just wanted to go over why we weren't here. Mm-hmm. It's my fault, actually.
Yeah, for the past, what is it, like 4 months maybe?
Yeah, I think 4 months. The main reason was, well, first of all, I would say last year we were pretty busy, like just in general.
Personal life. I mean, we did, release, quite a few episodes. Well, maybe not what our goal was. I think, so for last year, we were aiming to at least go to 40 episodes. Right. But we made it up until... No. We did come to like 45 episodes.
No, we wanted to record 40 episodes.
Oh, we wanted to record,
right.
Yeah.
That was our original goal.
Yeah.
But we made it to episode 40.
40, okay.
So, yeah, I guess we made our goal number-wise.
True.
That makes sense.
In some way.
Yeah. So we were busy for the most part, but like that's not the main reason why I guess we were absent or whatever you want to call it.
For the past few months.
Yeah. So the main reason it was, well, I wasn't feeling good. I got this Crohn's thing going on. So I started feeling, kind of sick in August, I think, last year.
Mm-hmm. End of August.
Yeah, end of August. So I've been dealing with this. You guys could always kind of hear it in my throat that like it kind of sounds like I'm congested a little bit. So for years I've been dealing with this issue where I have a lot of like congestion and like my throat is always burning but doctors kind of saw it as something benign and
allergies.
Yeah, they just dismissed it as allergies for the longest time. But yeah, fast forward to like last year. So actually that was going on since 2016. So from 2016, so I was 20 years old by then. Mm-hmm. I started getting those symptoms of like coughing and kind of like a mucus-ish cough and a lot of burning in my throat and things like that. And they said it was just allergies. Mm-hmm. But okay, so fast forward to 2022, in August, I started feeling something different where, I have a lot of like intestinal problems. So anyways, I went to the doctor and they had to check for, they wanted to do like a colonoscopy to see if there was anything going on. And it turns out there was, inflammation and shit going on. So they said I had Crohn's for the first time, which I probably had for a long time, but I just kind of went undiagnosed. From what I've seen online, Crohn's disease actually goes unnoticed for a lot of people. Like for years. Some people have it for like 10 years. They don't even know.
Yeah. I think a lot of like intestinal issues aren't discovered until later on because, you dismiss it or you think, oh, whatever, maybe I ate something, maybe this or that, which can be. There's like so many different variants of it that you're never sure what it is.
And like intestinal issues kind of runs in my family. So I was kind of at risk, I guess, to have that kind of thing. So that was the main reason I wasn't feeling good. And I personally, I wanted to take some time just to focus on feeling better rather than, rushing into podcasting. And there was a lot of other things going on last year with like, I was competing in powerlifting. There was a bunch of shit all at the same time. So, I think the priority was to get better and then, start back up.
And then start again.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy you're back.
Thank you. Still not feeling perfect, but I think there's some improvements since whenever this crap started. So
you'll learn to live with it and manage it better and just have it more under control instead of
exactly. And I think like it's not all like a bad thing because like I said earlier, I was dealing with like those I guess other issues like with my throat and things for a long time, and it would always go unnoticed, like it was nothing. Like, oh yeah, you have allergies or something. But now that I have like a proper diagnosis of what it is, maybe I could
Maybe it's
treat
related.
it and figure out what is actually going on.
Yeah, because you haven't still pinpointed if your Crohn's is affecting that. You need to do further testing, but there might be a probable link.
Because Crohn's affects literally from like your mouth all the way to your ass. So like it could be related, and like it could affect your esophagus, could affect your throat, like the whole GI tract essentially. So I'm excited to see, like, as much as that sounds weird to like be excited to go to the doctor, but like I'm kind of excited to see if there is a link, because I actually brought it up to the doctors like a long time ago that I think there's something else going on, maybe related to my stomach, or sorry, I said my stomach, but as in like my intestinal tract. I had asked them, can you send me for a test, checking if maybe there's something going on with my esophagus or if there's something going on with my throat. And they did send me to do a test. And that test was actually called a barium swallow, which is one of the worst friggin' things you could do. It's kind of weird. It's like they put you on this table and they make you swallow like literally like a white gooey thing of barium. I don't know. I don't think it's barium, but some gooey white thing.
White thick liquid. That's kind of sus.
Honestly, it kind of looked like that, but so they make you drink that, and then they give you this other like powdery thing that you like kind of swallow with no water, and you just put in your mouth. And what it does is that like it kind of, I don't know why, but like it makes you burp all kinds. So like you're just burping for a while, and they tell you like you're gonna be burping like crazy in a few minutes, and like really, and then like you have hiccups and you're burping. It's weird. And then they put you on a table and they spin you, and they take pictures of like your upper intestinal tract basically. So whatever.
It's almost like it illuminates your GI tract or something.
Yeah, that's actually kind of what it does, is like so they could take like clear pictures and things. So they found nothing, but that was the only test I did. So now I'm interested to see if there's, because I know there's another type of test I could do to verify that, because colonoscopy like is they go from the rear end, and they see like in the colon and mostly the colon actually. But they could do a test where you actually like have a camera down your throat and they could see the upper part. So
maybe you need to.
So maybe I need to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always more
comforting.
Comforting, yeah. Like to know, to not just be in the blue about your condition. Sometimes even if it's something severe, it's better to like, at least I know what I have, and
exactly,
that I'm not crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, for the number of times I went there and I told them like I know something's going on. Like one time they had asked me like they were actually treating me for dust mite allergies, because I like I said, I'm known to have allergies, but they were like, I feel like they were treating me for the wrong thing. So essentially I think they were treating my Crohn's symptoms with like allergy relief medication. So what they were doing is they were giving me like immunotherapy, which is like, I don't know if you remember this, but I was taking those like tablets of dust mites, and I had to swallow them every day because they wanted to build my immunity. But if I have Crohn's, right? How does that make sense? I'm ingesting something I'm allergic to. So maybe that messed me up way more, right?
Yeah, maybe it I don't know, man.
It's weird. And I did that for a year and a half. And I remember taking that medication, not feeling good at all. Like my throat was always messed up. Like I felt really weird. So yeah.
Wasn't that great.
And I remember going for that treatment, and one day the doctor asked me, do you have any issues with your esophagus? I'm like, but that's what I'm here for. I don't know. You guys are supposed to be telling me that, not me. Right? And he's like, oh, okay, I guess we'll just do it and see. I mean, that
shouldn't you people know better?
Exactly. That's kind of what I said. I was like, you guys should be looking into this. So
well, anyways, At least now that you have, your condition with this Crohn's, now you can further investigate,
Yeah.
with your throat and the allergies, quote unquote.
Exactly. And I'm someone that kind of like hyper obsesses. Is that how you say it? I guess
I mean,
with
okay.
something.
Yeah.
So like since I
wanna
had that,
know.
I've been like super. Like I've been doing a lot of research, and I've
That's
you know
good.
like playing with my diet, and it's already making a difference.
That's
So
good. That's good. I mean, yeah, people who have like conditions like this that affect them daily need to know the ins and outs and
yeah, exactly.
know.
Because any little thing that you do different, it's
Can have
gonna
an
it's
effect.
gonna have an effect. Like it's so tedious in that way. Like
it's like a delicate balance that
Right.
you need to always
Yeah.
keep.
so yeah. So that was the reason why I'm not here. I don't know if it's a good reason, but
Well, I mean,
that's you guys
listen.
to judge. But
It was, health issues that you had to deal with before, you were okay to restart, and
yeah,
everyone can get those. So,
yeah, that's important. I guess we're back, and I'm happy about that. I was
Yeah,
excited
exactly.
today to record. And then I guess
what
yeah.
about the
Well, what
good?
about you? Like,
For me?
what's been up with you?
What's been up with me? I mean, nothing, crazy special or whatever, but I mean, bad wise,
Not that bad.
nothing.
Can't complain.
Nothing. Yeah,
All
can't
right,
complain.
That's good.
Good wise, I guess I've said this like in a while, maybe in some other episode, that it's gonna mark a year that I had my home gym.
That's good.
That's a good thing,
Yeah.
yeah, because I'm still impressed. I know it might sound kind of like trivial or whatever, but I'm impressed that I can work out every day now, more regularly, because like just a few years back I would not exercise, and we've spoken out multiple occasions on how exercise and all that is very important, moving every day. So yeah, I'm kind of proud of that I'm able to
That's good.
work on myself and have your help and coaching from time to time on lifting techniques and whatnot.
Yeah. So I guess if I want to go into like another thing that happened to me last year was kind of on that same note is I competed twice in powerlifting last year.
You
So
did quite a bit.
yeah. So that kind of relates to the other part of my story that I was saying earlier. So the first time I competed was in April of 2022, and he was my handler, pretty good handler, honestly. Better piano player though.
Better, pretty good, Alan.
Both of them, you were
But
good.
yeah.
So essentially, like in April, it was my first competition. We did it at Saint, which is in Quebec, where we're from, but kind of more like I guess on the South Shore. So yeah, we drove down there. It was really fun experience that day. It was like you could probably testify. It was like it was really fun.
Yeah, the vibe and the masculine energy in there.
Yeah, it was something to be seen, honestly. So yeah, we did that. First meet went whatever. It was okay. Then fast forward to my second one, which is kind of recently. Actually, it was in September. Yeah, so it was in September. September 24th, I believe, 2022.
Yeah.
And that's right around where, like I said earlier, I started feeling the effects of the Crohn's in August. And then I had the powerlifting meet in September.
During that period, yeah.
Right
and
there.
you pushed through
During
it,
that second meet prep, I
I
started feeling really sick. So I kind of had to take like a few weeks off, and I was kind of training still, but it was like I was barely able to do anything. Like I felt so
you were
weak.
questioning if you wanted to drop out of it.
So
or
I was
not.
so close to like pulling the plug on that one and be like, "There's no way I'm competing," but I don't know what told me
What
to
you
do it
said.
anyways. But I did it
Effort.
anyways, and turns out it was like
One of
I
the
hit
best.
better than my first one. I hit some like really good PRs and stuff. So yeah, I was like really proud because with all the shit I went through, literally,
Literally.
then I was able to turn around and do that. It was really cool.
No, that was a fun experience too, and we were a bit more prepared as well.
That too.
Second time around,
Yeah.
we kind of knew how the whole process worked. The doing your attempts and when they call your name and whatnot.
Yeah, we were super ready. Like we had everything kind of planned out. Like
all the weights.
Yeah. Heiko brought like I don't know if I think it was you that brought like
Yeah, like a folder,
the
yeah.
pad or the folder thing, and we had all the attempts written out. Like everything was like really planned out well. Like we were kind of like a well-oiled machine that day. Like we just freaking took the weights,
Back
put them
to
on the
back.
bar, and like we knew what we were doing. So it was really fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be, Yeah, first time around, we were kind of fumbling. Oh, what's your weight? How much do
Yeah.
you have to lift?
Yeah, because the first time around we hadn't planned out a warm up routine with exactly the weights with which color plates. Because at a powerlifting meet you have the kilo plates, which are certain colors and whatever, and we had to. Yeah, the second meet we knew exactly what we were doing. It was much better.
Yeah. So we just needed one experience to understand, and then
Yeah,
we were good to go.
yeah.
So yeah, those were fun. I mean, yeah. For myself, like I said, nothing major happened. Yeah, my exercise thing. Yeah, I'm proud of that. Cause I did do some gains myself. So
Yeah, made some good progress for sure.
Yep. But yeah, other than that, personally, I guess that kind of sums it up for.
I feel like you did something else, but I can't remember.
I'm trying to remember. Sometimes when I try to remember on the spot, I just can't obviously there's a lot that happens, but sometimes you just
Disregard it as something unimportant, but
Or-
turns out it is.
or just kind of forget. I mean, if I try to look back,
No, I mean,
I mean,
you'll think
I'll
of
think-
something.
yeah, maybe later on.
He had a good year. I had a bad year.
No, I mean,
I'm joking.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was more
everyone-
like end of the year for you that kind of
Yeah, exactly.
started.
Yeah, I can't really complain about the beginning of the year. Like,
Yeah, summer,
yeah, things were going fine. So yeah,
just later
I guess that was why we were gone. So I guess
Yeah.
maybe we could kind of jump into the second part that we wanted to talk about is what happened in the world and around
outside
us.
of our lives.
right?
Yeah, because as every year, there's always major events that happen that shape our lives and the world around us, and kind of do a quick overview of like the major events that happen and kind of our thoughts. So yeah, one of the first ones that we did do a react on is the invasion of Ukraine that happened in February 2022,
Yeah.
which is still ongoing. We're in 2023 and it's still unbelievable that is still going on, but
Yeah.
such as the state of affairs, like wars sometimes, they might last a day, they might last years.
Yeah, and hopefully this one doesn't last years because like
Yeah.
you said, it's pretty
Yeah.
unimaginable that this shit is going on in this day and age. So
Yeah, a lot of destruction, lives lost.
Yeah.
We're far away from it. We're comfortable, we're okay, but obviously there's people suffering, and
yeah,
we can only hope that.
I saw actually I think it was this week or last week that there was it was this week that there was like an airstrike or missile launch
Yeah.
on like an apartment building in Ukraine, and it killed like 40 people
I
or something
heard
like that.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really sad. So
you know,
yeah, it's definitely ongoing.
Especially civilians, that get collateral damage like that.
Yeah, that is the worst. I mean,
Yeah.
another thing that kind of we were talking about this recently actually. I love how I don't know, just maybe because I don't necessarily know that much about how war actually works. I love how they had like a standstill for like one day for like the Orthodox Christmas
Yeah.
on the 6th, right, of January.
Well, I thought it was for the new year.
No, I think it was actually for the Orthodox Christmas
Okay.
because a lot of people are Orthodox there.
Okay.
So they had like
Yeah,
a
I think
ceasefire.
Russia.
Right.
Putin said, okay, I think for 36 hours, but I think for New Year's as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
But anyways,
I think you might be right.
Whatever, New Year's or for the Christmas Orthodox, yeah,
It's ridiculous. It's like why stop it for one day when you could just fucking stop it forever?
forever, yeah, just indefinitely.
It's like if you have the decency to like stop for one day,
Yeah.
why don't you have the decency
To
to stop?
respect that,
right? Why don't you have the decency to stop every day? You know, as trivial as that sounds, should be common sense in that. So
yeah, obviously it's ridiculous, but what can we do? We can only hope, that some peace, peace talk or something happens between the two, because
some type of treaty or I don't know.
but yeah,
I hope because I don't know. It's pretty
Because
unreal.
yeah, like, but that's the thing. This war has affected so much in the world, though, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
A lot of
That's true.
like food that's being transported, gas. A lot of people everywhere else are being
Military
affected.
support.
Oh man, so much money
Right.
sent, military support, and it's also like a tricky situation because other countries don't want to get directly involved, but they're like indirectly
Yeah.
supporting it because they don't want Putin to win or whatever. But they need to be careful that to not push the
Yeah,
wrong
push
buttons.
the right. Yeah, because the other guy's gonna push the red
Because
button.
yeah, exactly. So that's why it's a very delicate situation, and
Yeah.
I don't know. We're not, any type of foreign experts or advisors here.
No, we don't claim to be. We're just kind of going over.
Just like regular people
Right.
observing this and trying to make something.
Yeah, from our perspective, like you said earlier, we live far. It doesn't affect us directly, but we still see every day that it has a major impact on the world.
I mean, we still feel, some of those effects on, the supply chain,
The gas
and
prices,
the gas
like all
price.
kinds of things.
At one point, remember how they went over $2 a liter?
That's right when it started. When as soon as Russia had declared the war, the gas prices were insane. But
Yeah.
like we can't complain because that's nothing to compare to like what people are really
Yeah,
living.
obviously, I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm paying higher gas prices, but you have people dying there.
Yeah,
but
I'm just saying like.
but it's a lot of like
Yeah,
ripple effects in
exactly.
every sense. So
So yeah, I guess that probably one of the the biggest
I think
things
that
that
is
happened
still-
last year that's still happening. So yeah,
we'll see.
and something else that had an insane ripple effect
Yeah,
was the Oscar slap.
segue into the Oscar set that we also did a react on.
Yeah,
Yeah, on a I don't know if I should say lighter note, kind of, but
yeah,
also maybe,
definitely a lighter note.
yeah, lighter note than that. But yeah, that Oscar slap with Will Smith, slapping Chris Rock because he made a joke about his wife.
Apparently, he's not with his wife anymore or something, or like I saw a short on YouTube like
No,
of him literally Will Smith saying, I don't know if it's one of these freaking AI things nowadays, but
no, you can't even trust.
yeah, I don't know. He was saying like, I'm done with her and shit.
Well, in the past, they had a period where they separated for a while.
Okay,
so
so
I'm
maybe
not
that
sure
was
if
an
it's
old
an
thing.
older video.
I don't know.
Yes.
I heard it was something new. Anyways,
No,
it could be
no,
wrong.
I think
but-
they're well together. I haven't heard any.
well is pretty relative, but
Well, yeah.
they seem to have a pretty toxic relationship.
Yeah, from the outside, it doesn't seem, because, for him to react that way, which we kind of discussed in our React episode, it was a bit too much. And, like, okay, maybe you got offended, but, like, maybe afterwards go speak to the host and say, hey, I didn't like your joke. Or
Yeah, like why could you just do that? I
Yeah,
mean,
he could have spoken to him and.
I love how that just became like an international meme.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
But
such
that's
a
the
big
thing.
meme.
But he is still being,
I know.
ripped apart. You saw the video I sent in our chat because the Eddie Murphy.
Oh, it was you sent it today.
Yeah.
I didn't have time.
You didn't have
I didn't
time?
have time to check it.
Well, like recently there was the Golden Globes Awards, and I think
Oh, but I had seen that video on YouTube actually.
of Eddie
Yeah,
Murphy.
yeah.
Yeah. We'll say to the people who hadn't seen it, that he was getting an award, and it was saying, I have only 3 rules for you to have success in life. It's pay your taxes, mind your business, and keep Will Smith's wife's name out your effing mouth.
That's funny. Yeah. I remember. I've seen that video
Yeah, so there people are still taking a piss out of that
for sure.
because it's such a meme.
It's such a meme. Like, how is that going to go away?
Never. Poor Will.
It sucks because, like, okay, Will Smith had a pretty decent career.
Yeah, it kind of tarnishes his name,
Yeah.
a bit, and his reputation.
Yeah.
Although he's trying to do a comeback, he's working on a new film. Well, it's gonna release soon, called Emancipation.
Okay.
If you've heard of it,
I haven't heard of
I
it.
think it's like an old story of like I guess this black slave who tries to be emancipated or whatever. I'm not sure what the exact story is, but seems to be kind of like this serious drama role.
Okay.
So maybe
Boy,
that might be his
I mean,
comeback.
good for him, but
yeah,
it sucks that like
he has that on
he's gonna
his.
have that on his image for I guess probably the rest of his life. Unfortunately.
Well, I don't know. The Oscars banned him for 10 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. Maybe people might forget. Who knows?
Yeah.
Um,
So more on the celebrity life, I guess.
yeah, more the other one. I mean, yeah, we can quickly go over that, but I mean, who hasn't heard about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial that happened?
Yeah, more memes.
But yeah, again, we have a lot of memes. Yeah, the last year was a huge supply of memes, like nonstop.
That is true. A lot of memes.
But yeah, this trial kind of unprecedented in its nature, where I don't think we've seen one of like celebrities like this. Like every single day was televised and every bit analyzed. This was kind of big, and yeah, I mean, what happened? I think it exposed kind of like this issue that can happen in relationships where sometimes the women can be an abuser, where a lot of times we assume it's the man.
Yeah.
And
I'll be honest, I didn't follow that much the trial, but like obviously I heard of it and kind of heard from you what was going on and shit. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, you don't need to know all the details, but yeah, like Amber Heard was obviously manipulative in the relationship and wanted to make Johnny Depp look like the bad guy and the abuser, but it was more her.
Kind of like in the Will Smith situation a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they should have a trial.
Yeah.
Will Smith trial. The Smith versus Smith.
Yeah. Imagine they have like a trial just for that slap or something like.
Oh my god! You see Chris Rock.
You get Chris Rock,
testifying.
exactly. Yeah, Chris Rock brings him to court.
I just made a G.I. Jane joke. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was a G.I. Jane joke. I remember.
That was a joke. Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, because he was like G.I. Jane 2. Can't wait to see.
It's not even that bad. That's the worst part. It's like I would have laughed.
Okay, maybe the person feels self-conscious because she has a condition where she loses her hair.
Was it alopecia, I think?
Yeah, that's what it's called. That's why I said, like, he could have just done this aside and told him, don't say that again.
Yeah.
But no, keep my wife's name out, Joe.
Insane.
So yeah, the Depp Heard trial, obviously, big thing. But yeah, I think a lot of people were happy of the result. That they penalized her. She had to pay like $10 million or something.
That hurts.
She filed for bankruptcy because that was too much.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, and then another one that's also sad that happened, the school shooting in the U.S., the Uvalde school shooting. I think it's in Austin. I think
it was, yeah.
Texas, yeah. Yeah, that was pretty shocking too. I mean, is it like shocking with the U.S. At this point with, so many shootings, not just schools, like anywhere, like just...
Yeah. It's sad because, like, I don't know, it just happens so often and, like, I don't know, it just keeps happening and no one gives a shit. And it's just like, okay, it's going to happen again. It's like inevitable almost.
Kind of like, when is the next one?
Right.
It's like I'm almost waiting this year. Okay, when's the next one?
I know, it's freaking sad.
And
like,
why should it be like that?
Yeah. So. I don't know, man. I'm not from the U.S., but you guys got to get your shit together, I guess.
Yeah. Anytime these sort of shootings happen, always the gun control
yeah, it always comes back to that. Like, it's...
But again, nothing happens. And, gun control, but people need help, though. That's the thing.
For sure.
There's a lot of mental health issues that, go dismissed and unrecognized.
I feel like, even if with the gun control thing, like, I feel like people are still going to find a way to be violent. Like, that's why people need help. And, the government should be doing something to provide that help and not just focusing on these freaking gun control laws that never get passed.
That never...
they never amount to anything.
Because you have such a big group that are advocating for, I want to bear arms and okay. And a lot of people don't want to have guns just to like pew pew, just play around and shoot people because they want to protect themselves, which I guess, whatever, it's fine. But then there needs to be that, incentive from the government to like help people, with those mental health issues. And instead of spending so much on military, why don't you spend a bit, on your healthcare system and,
Yeah. And you guys have a better healthcare system in the US than we do in Canada. I guarantee you that.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Well,
for someone that lives in the medical system with all my freaking conditions, I could tell you, not too happy.
I mean, yeah.
We have the free healthcare.
Yeah,
That's the good part.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I guess, yeah, being it free, sometimes it can be frustrating, which I agree.
Total like
Long wait
I was
times
I was hearing what's her name? Michaela Peterson.
Yeah.
Talking about, because she has an autoimmune disorder too, right?
Yeah.
Disease. And I heard her say on her podcast that she lived her whole life in Canada, and like she was never able to get help for anything. Like it's just that like it's
Difficult.
terrible.
Yeah. I can understand. Yeah. For people who have like complex issues and that need, like recurring visits and follow-ups, yeah, it can be tough.
Yeah, and especially people like people that have mental health issues. It's like some people probably need those visits, and they probably need a lot of recurring help, but they don't get it because first of all, mental health is always like looked down upon, as in like it's not really a grave issue. But then we have people that actually have mental issues, and they end up like
grave.
shooting up a school. It's unreal. So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, in the US, you might have better follow-ups, better care, but
yeah,
you have to put up the money.
Yeah,
which a lot
that's
people
of course.
don't have.
Yeah, there's always a good and a bad and everything. I mean, yeah, if you don't have the funds, you're not gonna be able to get that type of help in the US in the medical system. Whereas here in Canada, at least we could benefit from that. But the downside is
sometimes it's
it's not
great.
the greatest healthcare system. Let's be honest.
So it's like, which one?
Which pick your poison, I guess.
Pick your poison.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know. That's my experience with the healthcare system. So
that's okay. Yeah. But yeah. So going past that, other I guess sad news. The death of the Queen, the Majesty.
Yeah, there was that. Yeah, I mean we're like from Canada, so we kind of got that. The effects of the death of the Queen here, and I know it was kind of like an international, I guess.
I mean, it was pretty international,
but
more of the Brits, but
yeah, right. Like I guess like the British country like colonies, like kind of the ones that were the most
Australia,
affected.
Canada.
So yeah, I mean.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't like bawling or whatever.
Yeah, same. I mean, the Queen passed away.
Yeah, I mean she was
sad,
pretty old.
Yeah, she lived a long life. In her 90s, right? I think
96.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, it was kind of surreal, to be honest, at first, because it kind of felt like she was a bit immortal, and I think a lot of people saw it like, well, this lady's just gonna be here forever, because she kind of has for so many people's lives. Like, for my mom, Queen Elizabeth was there.
Yeah.
For your dad, for us, she's always been there.
Right. And, going back to that healthcare thing, like when you're the Queen of England, right? What kind of freaking healthcare do you think you get, right? Like, why do you think she lived that long?
No, I mean,
I'm sure she was in good health, but I'm sure she had pretty good help around her too.
Yeah. And, I don't think her life was, super difficult. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
she had everything she needed, or help, or
yeah, it looks like she had a pretty, luxurious,
calm, and obviously,
exactly. That's what I mean. Like,
she's the Queen. So.
She's the freaking Queen. So
yeah, but yeah, I mean, rip the Queen, and
and she was a queen for a long time. So I mean, like, all the healthcare she
almost
probably had her whole life. Like, I'm sure that helped.
Best.
And good for her to have lived such a long life. So
yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean,
that
was that, and then we could talk about our
another meme,
our best friend.
He always sneaks.
He always comes back
to the podcast. The Mr. Musket buying Twitter.
Elon Musk is just everywhere nowadays. Like this guy, everyone talks about him. It's unreal.
Yeah, he is everywhere, even in our podcast. But this thing with Twitter that has been going on, since like spring, summer this year, of him, maybe buying it and then canceling his deal and then going into it. then finally finalizing the deal. It's just been kind of surreal as well, because you're like, what? Elon Musk buying Twitter? Kind of weird. And all the shenanigans that followed after that, you know, him trying out different things.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna get it like running. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but I don't know if you heard, he did a poll again of saying, should I quit, you know, being CEO?
I didn't see that.
And like 56% said, yes, you should. And he said, okay. But he said, before that, I'm going to find a suitable replacement for a CEO, and then I'll quit.
This guy is running how many companies? He has SpaceX, Tesla, then he has
the Boring Company.
He has
the Boring Company.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah, with the tunnels and everything.
Oh, yeah, but he also has the
Neuralink.
Neuralink, that's the name I was looking for.
Yeah, SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink, Twitter. Boring Company, Twitter. Yeah, so
man, this guy is just, he's unreal. I don't even know how you could. Yeah, he's literally a machine. How do you manage that? Like, it's insane.
I can't even like manage my 9-to-5 job.
Yeah. Imagine how many emails he gets every day.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
This guy must be looking at emails like
he must be CC'd on like you know, a million stuff.
Oh my god, I wouldn't want to be him.
No,
maybe.
Yeah, what about
I don't know if you saw SpaceX actually had a launch this week, like one of their new Falcon rockets.
Oh.
Like,
no, I didn't.
Dude, it's so cool, like, to watch. Like, I don't know if you know a little bit how, like, the rockets, like, the ones that SpaceX designed.
I don't follow SpaceX that much. Like, I hear about the launches and whatnot, but I'm not really.
So they have, like, you know how they have, I don't remember how what they're called, but, like, they have, the engines, I guess.
Yeah.
And, like, typically with a rocket, like, they would like kind of drop back into the ocean. What SpaceX does is that it has like self-guiding engines, so instead of losing them in the water, they have AI that brings them back to
come
Earth,
back,
and then they can reuse that. So that's what makes it like so cool.
Oh, that's cool.
You can like, I just saw the launch this week on YouTube, and it's like really cool.
Oh yeah, maybe I should check that out.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's like unreal. I can't believe they came up with that.
They've done a lot of advancements, I've heard.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this guy wants to go to Mars, so
I mean, yeah, I don't know who's gonna accept that offer. He should go to Mars.
He said he will, I think.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he says he wants to die on Mars or something.
Yeah, that's why he wants to have 50 kids before leaving to Mars.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, that too. Like how many kids does he have so far? Almost like 10 or something.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. With like 6 different women.
Yeah.
He lives like, you know, some ancient king or something.
I mean, he's the richest man on earth, so I mean...
Yeah, I guess he could do, you know, get any woman he wants, sort of.
I don't think, yeah. I mean...
But yeah, he's an interesting fella, and this whole Twitter escapade is, you know, also such a meme and craziness, but
yeah,
we'll see how that, you know, turns out eventually.
Yeah. We did have a podcast on Musk, right? With the theory versus practice thing.
Oh, that, yeah. Yeah, he was like part of
it, yeah.
With Einstein and everything. Yeah. And then the next one being the news that the world population reached 8 billion. Finally, I guess.
We're going to have to ship some of those people to Mars, I think.
Yeah, let's ship like 1 billion there now. Let's see what...
I don't know if Mars can handle that capacity, but...
Yeah, we'll see, yeah.
Musk literally says that Mars is going to be like a habitable planet. Or like...
But why Mars, though? Like...
Because it's the closest planet that's habitable, essentially, because you can't go to Venus, right? Venus
is too.
Venus is like a gaseous.
Okay,
like,
after
planet.
Earth, I think it's Mars, right? And then
then
it's
Jupiter. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Jupiter is even further, and it's like even less habitable. So it's like it's composed of like just essentially gas, and it's freezing. Like you can't do shit on that planet. So.
Yeah, but I always thought, like, if we were to find, another habitable planet, it would be kind of similar to ours. And I think we have maybe found some other ones, but like in further galaxies.
Yeah, and there's no way that we could reach them.
But
I
those,
think, yeah.
yeah.
I guess Mars, like
Mars is like sort of like trying to do a prototype or test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of like I guess it's like very like mountainous and like very,
very
rocky and
yeah.
shit. So they're gonna try to mimic like a planet Earth there.
But I don't think
like
like most people will be outside though. I think everyone will be in kind of,
Yeah, it's
enclosed
like a dome,
structures.
like some kind of dome or.
Structure.
I actually heard Elon Musk say that there's one way to like heat up the atmosphere there. Actually, it doesn't. I don't think it has an atmosphere, but like
Heat up the atmosphere. Okay.
like they would literally like nuke the planet, and that's one way. Like they would nuke the poles. Yeah, he actually said on Joe Rogan's
Wow, that's
podcast,
kind of
like or
intense.
something. Like, that's pretty intense.
Yeah, it is. Nuke the poles. Okay, so they literally want to change the weather.
Yeah, essentially
I think,
like
yeah,
change
change the
the
weather.
the climate.
Climate, yeah.
Yeah, because it's cold there. So like I don't know what the average temperature is.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty damn cold. Because it doesn't have like
Yeah, because it's further away.
yeah, but also doesn't have an atmosphere like we do. Because like here on Earth, we have an atmosphere that keeps like the the heat from the sun. Mm-hmm. But there, they don't have that, so they would literally nuke the planet to warm it up.
It's pretty.
That's what he wants to do. Yeah. So sorry. Let's go back to the 8 billion thing. But.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, 8 billion. I mean, yeah. The population is increasing, and I've heard that estimates are pointing towards 10, but then it's gonna plateau.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then we might start seeing declines because another thing that's affecting birth rates. Yeah. With fertility issues that people need to.
I guess I could go check out our podcast on that one.
Yeah, that was a cool one that I brought up. With these microplastics that are in our bloodstreams because of all the products and everything that we use around us that we got to be careful of, and it does affect like testosterone levels in guys and birth rates. So who knows what the population will be
Yeah,
after like
we don't know
30 years or something.
Yeah, at this rate, with all kinds of climate change and
We might
whatever.
get nuked before that. I don't know.
Yeah, we might get there's that too.
Let's hope not.
Yeah. And I guess
go ahead.
I guess to finish on a positive note, also there was the World Cup, which I followed pretty closely actually.
Yeah, I didn't really care for it that much, to be honest, but yeah. I guess people like soccer.
I mean, I don't even like soccer. I just like the World Cup for some reason. It was I don't know, it was fun.
Yeah, I think the World Cup has this sort of like, kind of like Super Bowl type of vibe where, everyone gets together. No matter if you really like it or not, it's just to
pass the time, really.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Kind of have fun.
The last game, the final, was like incredible. It was like one of the best games I've ever seen, honestly. It was crazy.
Yeah, I heard. I didn't watch it, but I heard like what Argentina like scoring 2 and then
France. Mbappe, Mbappe scored. Basically, Argentina scored 2, and then France scored 2 again, and then Argentina scored again, making it 3-2, and then France tied it like in extra time, and then they went to shootout, and then
penalty.
To penalty, and then Argentina won.
Yeah, it's always tense when it goes to a penalty.
Yeah, it was insane because Mbappe scored 3 goals.
By himself.
He scored all 3 goals for France, and that never
he did pretty good.
Never happened in a World Cup. That guy is like 22 years old only.
Wow.
Yeah, he's insane. He's like a really
like
good player. He's like he's probably one of the best soccer players in the world right now. Yeah.
I mean, good for him. Yeah, I'd heard there was also petitions and like protests for
they wanted
France to win.
To sign petitions for France to redo the game.
To redo it again because of...
Yeah, because they said that Argentina just scored like through penalties, essentially.
Okay.
Because the first goal Argentina scored was actually a penalty. And then the second goal was just a regular goal. And then I think they scored another penalty later on. I can't remember, but...
Yeah, but what's wrong?
I don't know. They're just saying it's a fluke because they just won through penalty shots and whatever.
Whatever. They respected the rules. I don't know.
Yeah. So I guess that pretty much recaps the whole year.
Yeah, we kind of did a good, I mean, there's obviously other events, but it's kind of the ones that, interested
marked
us
us, and yeah.
that we spoke about. But yeah, to kind of continue, coming back about the podcast, some of the goals for this year.
Let's go over that for sure.
Back to regular scheduling, hopefully, as much as we can.
Yeah. So yesterday we had a conversation, and we said that we try to record every 2 weeks, just until we kind of get back into the flow of things, and get back on our feet, I guess.
Yeah.
And then eventually we get back to weekly recording.
Yeah.
And then maybe one day more often.
Oh.
We never know.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, weekly is a good, benchmark, but for now, we're not going to leave you guys for like 4 months again and then come back later.
Yeah, definitely not. Like last year was like a special exception for sure.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? There's always anything that can happen, but
yeah, of course.
For now, we're okay. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
So,
feeling good. Looking forward to recording more, and like obviously we love recording, and it's always been kind of part of us.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunate circumstances kind of lead to this type of thing sometimes. So
it happens.
Yeah.
Such is life. The other thing is to try to explore more interesting esoteric topics. Because like we've discussed, there's like 1,000,001 topic. I mean, there's infinite topics that we could do, but there are more general type of topics, and there are some that are a bit more specific, less talked about or lesser known.
Yeah, we kind of delve into those pretty often, actually. Like just to give an example off the top of my head, like the Venus Project, or what's another one? Ephemeralization, things like that. Yeah. Right. So we have so many that are pretty, I guess more specific and kind of more out there. We like talking about that because that's just our character.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm sure we could push the envelope a little more and find more things to talk about.
Yeah, of course. So, I think it would be cool just to explore topics that not every other YouTuber has done, and a bit more push the envelope, and
exactly,
go out there.
Yeah, and I guess to go, to bring our podcast to the next level as well, we want to explore different avenues. Something that we keep joking about, but there's always something I live by, is that it's a joke until it isn't. So there's something that we've been wanting to do and been teasing with lately, is something called Curiousaholic. So we have this
spin-off.
So this channel is called Curiousaholic, and we kind of just want to have this spin-off type show where we just we call it Curiousaholic. We just rant about something we're pissed about, and
what grind my gears, type of thing.
I'm sure it won't be that serious, but
it'll be more of a comedic nature. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see how we'll delve into it. But it is sort of a joke, Sometimes when we talk together, we're like, oh, we should do a Curiousaholic episode.
It could be fun.
But
yeah, and I think, like you said, maybe we'll have an episode where it's really serious and we're actually upset about something. Like maybe this episode with the Crohn's thing could have been literally a Curiousaholic.
Curiousaholic, or the healthcare system. Curiousaholic.
We should do it on that.
Yeah, I mean, that should be the first.
Curiousaholic was one of them, and then another thing that we actually figured out. I think it was yesterday, actually. Yeah.
Yesterday.
We spoke about it yesterday. So last year we wanted to do an interview format with some guests, but we never
came to it. Yeah.
Never came to it. It just didn't come to fruition. Whatever. So we want to have this new kind of format where we would call it Getting Curious With. So kind of having, not necessarily super
not a formal type of interview where we're asking questions to someone. We could do those.
Yeah,
we could have that option. But this other maybe series calling Getting Curious With would be more of just adding a third person to the conversation.
Yeah, getting to know that person and understanding what drives them in life, so that we could better understand our own lives and understand the world, because that's the point of our show, right? It's to understand things about the world that we didn't know before, and
from
understand
perspectives.
And understanding ourselves better. So I think if we get another perspective, another person on the show, I don't know if We didn't talk about that. I don't know if it would be like here or it'd be like virtual, probably virtual. But.
Yeah, I guess maybe to start with, it might be virtual. We might have like a webcam or something and speak to them on the screen. But who knows? Maybe if someone can do it locally, that could be
that could be fun.
too.
Except I don't know if we have like the equipment to support that.
I have another mic. Yeah,
we'd have to figure that out, I guess. Like, it's just an idea, but we definitely want to.
Yeah, we want to basically branch out. You know, we have our Curiousaholic right now. We have the Philosophically Deep, which is kind of like a recurrent sub series. And then there's that tier list that's a bit more fun,
like kind of like a game show-ish
type of episode. And then we have our reacts on our channel, which is, not part of the podcast. It's a bit more, short. Well, not really short form. It kind of goes long too.
Yeah. But that one is kind of different because like this one goes kind of like unedited in the sense where like we have like a continuous conversation, but in the reacts we kind of,
it's edited.
It's edited, but we'll be honest. And, we kind of filter out some of the stuff that could be good and we kind of make it into like a shorter format podcast. I guess you could call it that.
Kind of, yeah. A bit more edited and snappy and emphasizing funny moments.
Yeah. So they're all pretty fun to do. They all have their place and we kind of...
So we want to, branch out and kind of, have these different other series in tandem.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what that...
So... That's for the podcast itself. Mm-hmm. Now, I guess we could talk about how we could improve personally because,
Yeah, for ourselves. Yeah. What can we do for this year?
Yeah. What about you? Do you have any idea?
For myself, improvement. I still try to self-improve as much as I can in terms of my health. Keep with my exercise.
He seems to be really on the exercise thing. That's good.
Yeah. Well, because I never used to do it before,
Yeah, so you make it like a point to like not go back to that.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I cannot, like even my mom sometimes like, I never thought you would, have a freaking gym in the house, What kind of person are you? So that obviously keep at that good habit. I've kind of fallen out from reading. I want to
same.
snap back into it. Maybe a fun story that I could share.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, because sometimes I forget, right? Why I've kind of fallen out of that actually is because I've gotten a PS5. It kind of sounds a bit like, childish. Oh, you got a PS5, but so what happened is that I kind of won a PS5, and how the story goes, to not do it too long, is that I had a Christmas party last year, during December, and they were giving out prizes, and they had a bunch of gifts there, and then I noticed they had a blue white box, and I was like, oh, that's a PS5 right there. But there's about 150 people that can win that, and everyone had their eyes on it. And there was this colleague of mine that was sitting next to me that I said, okay, if they call your name, can you go and pick the PS5 just for me? And she's like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. She was so chill. She was like, I'll go and take it. She's like,
maybe she didn't have a need for it. Like,
no, she didn't. Yeah, because she said her brother had one, and she doesn't play video games. She's like, I'll gladly take the PS5 for you. I'm like, yes, okay. So at least my odds are 2 on 150, so I could have a better chance. So what happens? They call the first name, second name, third name is her.
That's incredible.
So what does she do? She goes up, but then when she comes back with a $50 gift card instead.
Oh my God!
So
I think I heard the story, but I didn't remember all the details.
Yeah. Well, I told you guys the friend group, but just to reiterate. So when she came back, I was like, "What happened? Why did you pick the $50 gift card?" Because they call your name and then you go from the table and choose whatever gift you want. It's like, well, when I went there was a man who told me not the big ones.
Oh.
And I was like, really? Why? She's like, well, I guess they want to keep those at the end because obviously everyone would want the big gifts. I'm like, okay, I guess. I'm like, shit, man. Okay, I hope I can win then. But then what happens? The other person, the lady again, she goes and picks up the PS5. And I'm like, what? How did this happen? How did she go and get it? And she's like, I don't know. I mean, the man told me it was not the big ones. So we're sitting at a table. We're like 10 people. And then one of the men at the table, he was like, why didn't you go get the PS5? And then she said, yeah, well, because he told me not the big one. He's like, okay, I'm going to rectify this right now. So in the middle of like this lady announcing like the winners, for the prizes, he goes right up in, in the middle in front of everyone, starts whispering in her ear like something. And then the lady's like, whoa, what's going on? And everything stops. And then that lady with the mic starts talking with the man who was next to the gifts. I guess he was like, making sure everything's fine. And then, I don't know, the guy's like, I don't know, whatever, or something like that. And then the lady says, so I think there was a mistake that happened. We're going to have to call back the lady who took the PS5 because this other girl wanted it first. And there was
deception. That person must have been sad. Like,
oh, yeah. You should have seen her face. Like, oh, really? What? And then that girl, my colleague too, was kind of awkward, I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, but please go get it. I'm sorry, I'll repay you for this.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so basically she gave her $50 gift card, and then she gave the PS5 to him, and yeah, I basically ended up with a friggin' PS5.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I did compensate her. So,
yeah, and then you ended up with another gift, I hear.
I ended up with another
The
gift.
Cove.
Oh, yes.
See, that's I knew you'd remember something that happened to you last year.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I didn't remember that. Yeah, so the first time that happened to me, I had the COVID. Yeah, right after the Christmas party. Yeah, so that was kind of
that's shitty.
That sucks. But no, it wasn't anything crazy. Listen, 3-4 days, and then I was.
Yeah,
okay.
Better. But your smell took a long time to come back.
Yeah, that thing that affected, it was weird. I was like, man, I can't taste anything.
I was supposed to go to my Christmas party too, but it got canceled for the same reason. Like, people had COVID. Yeah. And then if I would have gone, I'd probably catch it too.
Oh, yeah.
At the Christmas party.
Okay.
But I didn't go and I didn't catch it. Thank God I didn't, because I was not feeling good with the Crohn's.
Yeah,
so I'm glad I didn't go to that Christmas party. So yeah.
Yeah. So some craziness that happened there, and yeah, I guess I've been a bit distracted with my new shiny toy, but
it'll die off.
I guess once it settles down, I want to try to get back into the reading thing again.
Yeah, same. Like,
because that's a habit. It can be tough to like keep it consistent.
Yeah, because playing video games doesn't require
that's the thing,
effort.
Yeah,
right? It's just like, all right, I'm gonna sit down and play.
It's easy.
But reading, it's fun, but it's so much more demanding in a sense where you need to pay attention, you need to take notes of what you're reading, you need to engage. Focus, right? Not just be like, okay, I'm gonna read and fall asleep. You have to try to stay awake and read. So it's hard. And for me too, I bought a lot of books recently. I've been reading, and then again I fell off, and it's almost like a battle for me.
Yeah. It's a hard habit. You got to find ways to keep at it, and what was I gonna say? It just takes a bit more effort. It's not like quick dopamine games.
Exactly.
It's just easy.
But it's good for you. It's good to read. It's
it's
a good habit for sure. So I don't know if you had anything else on your side.
Other than that, I mean, work on myself. Maybe also look more into the future in terms of where I want to be headed, and you as well, in terms of career-wise, maybe business-wise, who knows?
We've been teasing at a new thing, but we're not going to get into that. Right?
There's always ideas that float around, so...
Yeah,
who knows?
So
maybe Curiousaholic could become a brand.
Yeah, I hope. That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool.
But that's one of my goals, is that, if I do end up... right now I have a full-time job, but if one day in the future I have businesses that can kind of sustain one another, that'd be such a cool thing, kind of supplement,
Yeah, I think a lot of people's goals are being able to be independent, but have enough from what you're doing to sustain your thing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. But yeah, what about yourself? I don't know, specific to you.
Yeah, so I guess I'll start on the same note as you for the lifting thing.
Yeah.
because that's always such a big goal for me. Yeah. So actually, I decided that this year I probably won't compete in powerlifting.
Yeah.
Because of what happened last year. I need to take this year to just like kind of teach my body to, perform with this new thing happening in the background, like with the,
With
the
your
Crohn's.
yeah.
So I need to like teach myself to be able to lift while having that being, affecting me at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm not at the point yet that like I know how to like manage it that well. Like sometimes I'll go to the gym, I'll feel fine, and then sometimes I'll go to the gym, I'll feel like crap. So like it's still like super up and down. So I really want to take this year to kind of ramp back up real slow, probably hit some, good PRs and personal records for those that don't know what that is. Maybe later on, like in the year, like not
Okay.
rush.
Yeah, because I think you're sort of like rebooting in a way.
That's what it is. And it's like, look, I've been lifting for like a long time. I've been lifting since like I'm 15, and like, but not like consistently, like on and off.
yeah, but not like more serious.
Yeah,
where it's,
exactly.
Like deadlift.
But I've been like in the
heavy.
gym for a long time.
Yeah.
But like, just a few months I've had like kind of off training. Like my body feels like I haven't done it in so long. It's so weird. It's like yesterday I was doing squats and
feels off, yeah.
I did like 185, which is for me not a lot of weight, obviously.
Yeah, that's very. That's body weight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically almost my body weight. And I've done that so many times. I've squatted that weight so many times, and even that feels weird. Like not like really my stomach or anything, but it was like, man, my knees were popping, like my shoulders were weird, just because I'm not like in the mix of it, really,
Yeah.
like kind of out of it,
Yeah, you're not
just not acclimated
like the
anymore.
gears are rusty and
Yeah, exactly. It kind of feels that way. So yeah, this year I'm going to focus on rehabbing properly, and hopefully actually progress somewhat. I'd be happy with that. I don't think it's going to take that long, honestly.
no, I think you'll get back into it pretty soon.
I'm already getting back into it. I've been rehabbing for a few months now since my last powerlifting meet, so I'm starting to get strength back.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel better.
Yeah, you were doing more like lightweight baby stuff.
Yeah, I was doing stuff that was removing
Simple.
complete stabilization. Essentially, I was just doing machines. I was basically training like a gym bro
Yeah, gym bro.
for a few months. But sometimes you need that. I
machines.
mean, like as much as we meme and like we talk about like, gym bros, they do whatever.
No, I
Like,
mean it's
sometimes you need that. I mean,
they all have their uses.
yeah.
It's not there for.
So yeah,
nothing.
that's my goal this year. That brings me into kind of my goal of next year actually, which would be to bring my because right now I'm missing 80 kilos on my total on my squat, bench, deadlift combined. So not on each, like just the total.
Okay.
To go to the provincials. So I want to compete early next year. That's my goal. Qualify for provincials and then compete again at the end of the year next year in the provincials. So that's my goal.
Oh, okay, qualify and then
Qualified and
Yeah, then
compete in
compete,
provincials.
okay.
So,
and then
yeah.
nationals one day.
well, I think nationals would come after provincials, but I'd have to compete in, I think, something called regionals first. And once I did that meet, then I'd be able to compete in nationals.
Okay,
So,
I see.
yeah.
Okay.
So that would be my goal lifting wise. Other than that, obviously getting back into this podcast as much as possible. That's like one of my
Yeah.
big goals for sure. We kind of hinted at that, more like business side of things, and maybe, I don't know, I'm thinking of maybe going back to school. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you mentioned that too.
I'm looking into some business
Or
programs.
just learning.
Or
Like
just
I s-
learning,
Like I
like-
said, you
Yeah.
don't have to spend tons of money, but there's always room for growth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, maybe
more
just get like a
education.
certificate, like in business and shit like
Yeah.
that. Like, I'm just thinking about it because I have a background in engineering. I know I've mentioned this like quite a few times on the podcast, but like, I don't know. I'm really interested. I like engineering itself, but I would like to like be able like to sustain myself eventually. So I think combining it with business would definitely help my growth.
maybe
you
an
know?
engineering consulting company.
I don't know. Like it could be so many things.
It
Like
could be a
I don't
million
know what it
things.
is yet, but I'd really like that, honestly.
Yeah, I think maybe it's to like try different things and
Yeah.
see what sticks and what you like.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might fail too, you know, like business ideas. And
Oh yeah, I'm
that
gonna
sort.
fail. Like everything I've done in my life, I've failed at. So it's gonna happen. I'm gonna fail, but
But that's how you learn.
that's how you learn, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
I don't think I really have any other goals. I mean, it's pretty ambitious, I guess. But
Yeah, so I think that covers it. Yeah, so I think that wraps it up.
Yeah.
For a good recap of last year, what happened, what we think of the world around us, and the future.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it's like past, present,
Present.
future.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So yeah, so we thank you guys for watching this episode. You know, leave us a like, comment, leave us, you know, topic suggestions if you like.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
You know, we'll see who gets to it first.
Yeah. And see who checks the comments more.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and subscribe if you want to see more episodes and other types of videos that we will also release. And yeah, we will try to go back to a more regular upload schedule. We also have, you know, the streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher. That's a meme, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, we could always emphasize the Stitcher
The
part.
Stitcher. I don't know why.
Honestly, for no good reason. It's
just-
just that like I find the name funny and I just laugh at the name all the time.
I know. So yeah, we're on all of the major streaming platforms, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time.
Yeah. Peace, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
All right.